From Washington State. It looks like I am currently live on YouTube and Facebook and LinkedIn. This is the Work It Mama Career Talk. I am your lovely and daring host, Shanika Roberts. I am the founder and CEO of Next Chapter Career Services, where I equip moms to land job offers and gain confidence while doing so. All right. So I am using a platform where I'm streaming to multiple areas all at the same time, but I can see the chat. So feel free to engage with me, ask me questions, talk to me a little bit in the chat, and I will be able to see that. So before we get into today's topic, which is all about how us moms can manage a resume gap, I want to touch on a couple things. If you want to learn a little bit more about me and what I do, I am a certified career coach and resume writer. You can hop on over to my website. You should see it on the screen there, Next Chapter Career Services LLC.com, where you'll learn a little bit more about my resume writing services, career coaching. We do have a newsletter, we have a Facebook group. We got a lot of things. So go ahead and you can learn more by checking out my website. So, before we also get into today's topic, I just want to say if you are watching this on replay, go ahead and let me know in the comments. Put replay in the comments and let me know if you are a stay at home mom too. I have been a career coach for about 5 years and I've been a stay at home mom for two. So I'm currently doing my business while being home with my toddler. Her name is Noelle. She's adorable. And I'm just really passionate about helping women like me thrive in their careers. And speaking of helping each other, supporting each other, Next Chapter Career Services does have a mom community. It is brand new on Facebook. So if you want to connect with some other moms, if you want to connect with me, get access to free resources and other deals on other resources that I have, you can go ahead and join our community. We would be happy to have you be a part of it. All right. So today's teach is all about how moms can manage a resume gap. Okay. And I am going to be sharing two important reminders that I hope that you take with you as you plan your career step, or as you are probably like me in the season of littles and taking care of kids and families and all of the wonderful things. All right, so let's get straight into it. So, how can we manage a resume gap? Okay, resume gaps they're a reality for us moms, right? There is research that shows that over half of moms take a career pause at some point so that they can take care of the babies and the kids and the family. And among that large percentage of women taking a break, a lot of them do it because childcare is expensive, okay? If you're watching live, let me know in the comments if you agree with me that childcare can be very, very expensive. It is insane. I checked out a couple things, a couple options I was looking at one point, and it's pretty pricey. So it only makes sense that you're going to be home with your babies. And most moms, they are exceptions. Most moms usually take about an average of 2 to 3 years off before they try to re-enter the workplace. But then we kind of, come into an issue. And what's the issue? The issue is that there are some moms out there that are feeling anxious. They're wondering, have I been out for too long? Am I not going to be equipped enough to go ahead and do, the job? Some employers out there might be anxious about hiring a mom that's been out for the 2 to 3 years or possibly more. And so that's something that I really feel passionate about helping moms to overcome. Okay. But there are some things we can start doing while we are in the season of being home to prepare ourselves for going back to work. So let's get into that first tip. So the first tip is to remember that you never stop being a professional, unless if you want to. You know what? I think a lot about athletes, and you can think about the NFL. I think about the Olympics, right? We have these amazing athletes from all over the world. They spend years training and preparing, all to go on this amazing international stage and represent their countries. Well, they're not performing at the Olympics nonstop, day in, day out, year after year, right? They go, they perform. The Olympics, I'm not sure what the stretch of time is for the Olympics, but it's probably a couple weeks. And then there's no Olympics for the next 4 years. Just because that athlete isn't, performing at the Olympics anymore doesn't mean that they're no longer an athlete. Does someone stop being a gymnast because they're not at the Olympics anymore? Or does someone stop being a runner because they're not at the Olympics? No, right? They are in a period of rest and in a period of training. Hold on just a minute. Your girl got some dry throat going on here. Thank God for water. So, they're going through rest and they're going through training. And honestly, I see, being a stay at home mom a lot like the same thing. We've been doing something professional for a while, and then, we're home. But we don't stop being that thing professionally just because we're home. We're going through our own period of rest where our priorities change. There's a period where you are no longer working and you're taking care of your baby and you're trying to figure out being a new mom or being a mom to a second little or a third one or a fifth one, whatever your situation might be. But then I want to encourage you to not just stop there. If we are to continue being, our professional identity, if we are to continue being a professional, we can still work on that part of ourselves while we are home with our kids. And the best part is that you get to decide. You get to decide what your professional development looks like. You get to decide how long you're going to rest and not think about work at all. And then you get to decide, what does being involved with my career or my industry look like while I am still home? For some moms, it might be, I'm going to keep up with my certifications. So I'm going to join a professional organization. I'm going to get credentialed. I'm going to get certifications. I'm going to keep up to date on those. Or for some people, it might mean going back to school to get in a degree or a certificate. For some moms, they become independent consultants and freelancers. That's what I did / am doing as a resume writer, for instance. I'll go out there and there's a lot of opportunities on the online marketplace that stay-at-home moms can get plugged into so that they are just keeping in touch with that identity, that part of themselves. So you need to figure out, what does your professional development look like? And it's okay to rest. I encourage moms to rest as much as they need to, because and I know that being a mom all on its own is a very big, important full-time job. All right. So some people, they may want to stay in that industry. They may want to stay in that career, and they may want to go back to that after their time at home is over. But sometimes we don't. Sometimes we are happy the baby is coming because we are stuck in a job that we hate. And so my second tip for you is to remember that being home is an optimal time to pivot to a new career. I think a lot about the pandemic, and you might have heard or read about the Great Resignation, where a lot of people are leaving. They're leaving their industry and they're, taking time off, or they're going into a new industry because of COVID, because of, industry changes, policy changes, whatever that thing is that is driving them to reinvent themselves. And I see being a stay at home mom a lot like the same thing. When you leave that job and you decide you ain't coming back, it is a great time to reinvent yourself. I just want to pause that just to say welcome, welcome to all of those who are listening. If you are a mom or a stay at home mom, let me know in the comments. Also, know that you are free to pop in there any questions you may have about our topic, which is how can moms manage a resume gap? Okay, so we're talking all about pivoting to a new career. Okay, so how do we figure out, let's say you're unhappy, maybe you were in HR and you just hate HR. You think HR is as dry as a desert and you want to do something else. Well, how can you figure out what that other thing should be? Well, the first thing you should do is assess your talents. What are you good at? And if you're not sure what you're good at, and everyone is good at something, I do not want to hear I am not good at something, because everyone is. What do other people possibly say about, what you're good at, right? Maybe you're really passionate about writing, or you're really passionate about teaching or mentoring. Maybe you've been working with adults and you just want to work with kids. You love being home and you're thinking, oh, I would also love to work with other people's kids. So go ahead and assess what your talents are. Think about the things that you enjoy doing and what other people say you are good at. There are also a ton of free online assessments that you can do. ONET Online is one of them, where you can do some career interest inventories, and that can give you an idea of what your talents might be. So, once you figure out what you're good at, ask yourself, what problems are you passionate about solving? Okay, what things get you fired up? Maybe you feel like HR is dry, but maybe what gets you fired up is helping people to land jobs, right? To land careers. So maybe a career in job coaching or resume writing might be the perfect pivot for you. Or maybe you're really passionate about dogs and you want to sew dog sweaters and you want to make hair bows for dogs. Maybe you're really interested in photography or event planning. Whatever that thing is, just remember it is okay to pivot. Figure out what problem you want to solve and who you want to help. Okay? So, problem and then who. Do I want to work with adults, kids? Maybe I don't want to work with anyone. Maybe I would be happy just sitting behind my computer and working with programs and systems. So, just to recap, it is an optimal time to pivot, and you can do that by assessing your talents, problems you want to solve, and who you want to help. Well, those are my 2 tips for today. Tip number 1, you never stop being a professional. And remember, you can stay connected to your industry and you get to decide what that looks like. And finally, it's an optimal time to pivot. If pivoting is what you want to do, then that is okay. If you need a career coach and you're a mom and you are clueless about what to do next, please head on over to my website, www.nextchaptercareerservicesllc.com. If you're on my homepage, you can actually book a free 30-minute phone call or video chat with me so we can get clear on what your goals are and how we could possibly work together. Also, don't forget our Facebook community. It is brand new, it is growing, and it could be a great place for you to connect with some other moms. And I just want to wrap it up with an exciting update. So I will be launching my very ever first virtual group coaching class, and that is going to begin in March. So what I will be having is 4 sessions, 4 amazing sessions for moms who are looking for jobs, and the topic is going to be how to close your career gap. So what I've been talking about today, we are going to be going in depth. And you might be seeing on the screen there, my first of 4 sessions is going to be free. And it's going to be free for the members of our Facebook group. So you do not want to miss out. You can head over to my website, and on my homepage, it allows you to connect to that Facebook group so we can get you in there. And that will be on Saturday, March the 5th. So stay tuned for more updates about that free session and also the rest of the program and what those topics will be as well. Well, thank you so much for watching. Again, if you are watching this on replay and you are a mom, please let me know in the comments, and I hope to see you over on Facebook. Take care and have a great day. And if you're interested in watching me live, I usually do this Saturdays at 10:30. Probably should have started with that. I am doing it on a Thursday afternoon because this Saturday just does not work for me. I have some other commitments, including a birthday party. So I will not be available, but I'm usually doing this stream as well on Saturdays at 10:30 a.m. So I hope to see you next week. I'll be back next Saturday, I promise. All right, take care. Bye. Have a great day, guys.